Today we're going to be talking about the Raven Xenomorph, one of the most awesome in my opinion, going up against, of course, the Predalien itself. And what is a Predalien? Most of you know, it is a hybrid between a predator and a xenomorph. So without further ado, let's get into this awesome video. The Raven Xenomorph is an extraordinary specimen. It is a xenomorph that stands around 10 feet tall or larger. It has a humanoid eye socket on the side of its face, and on the other it's got the more standard xenomorph face and dome, but the dome has spikes atop it unlike most xenomorph domes. It also possesses teeth somewhat like a humanoid but with canines, and some other teeth more like xenomorph teeth. Now, these creatures, they actually have biomechanical coverings over their ribs. Their mesoskeleton can be seen protecting most of their body from firearms and different attacks. They have somewhat thick arms compared to your average xenomorph. It's also more heavily armored and more vicious. These creatures can hunt alone or hunt with the other xenomorphs. They can even lead other xenomorphs in the absence of a queen. This creature can be encountered in the video game Aliens Colonial Marines. Now, the Predalien is, of course, the cross between an alien and a predator, a xenomorph and a yautja. Also known as the Abomination, the Predaliens have mandibles like a predator, an inner jaw like a xenomorph, teeth like a xenomorph, a dome like a xenomorph, dreadlocks like a predator, a long extended tail like a xenomorph, tipped with a barbed spear-like tip, and a biomechanical covering over their chests. Now these creatures are very vicious and very powerful. They are in fact more powerful than any predator or xenomorph, aside from maybe the queen and the ultimate upgraded predator. There were many designs for the Predalien. The one that was nicknamed Chet that appeared in AVPR, aka Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Now the Predalien is very powerful, very aggressive, very dangerous, very, very, very lethal. It's basically the best of both worlds, literally. These extraterrestrial creatures typically hunt predators. They stand roughly between 10 and 12 feet tall. Now, without further ado, let's get into the fight. The Raven Xenomorph challenges the Predalien for its leader position. This is where the fight begins. The Raven crawls its way down the wall of the hive and approaches the Predalien. The Predalien roars out with its vicious intimidation roar. The Raven responds by screeching a roar directly back at the Predalien, and then it charges over bipedally on its back legs, running at the Predalien. It leaps through the air and comes to pounce down directly on top of the Predalien, but the Predalien whacks it out of the air with its tail, sending it flying back and smashing into a hive wall many feet away. It crawls its way back, running very fast on all fours, as it then leaps up and jumps onto the Predalien's chest, slashing at its chest with both arms, and then it drops back to the ground. It kicks the Predalien back. The Predalien goes to spear it with its tail, but the Raven dodges this attack, and then the Raven rams its head with its spikes straight into the Predalien's chest, and then pulls the spikes back out. The Predalien then grabs the Raven up by its skull, picks it up, and slams it to the ground. The Raven gets back up. The Predalien punches it in the face and punches it in the chest and punches it in the stomach, and then slashes vertically up from its stomach all the way across its chest, almost cutting its throat. The Raven begins viciously slashing over and over and over at the Predalien's face and chest, and then it takes its tail and it spears right through the Predalien's stomach, spearing directly through it. But then the Predalien pulls it close and brutally spears its tail straight through the Raven Xenomorph. And then it takes its head and it sinks its mandibles and its sharp teeth into the very skull of the Xenomorph known as the Raven, and then it lifts up using its hands and the strength of its jaws, and tears the head of the Raven Xenomorph right off its shoulders and spears its tail through the chest of the Raven, and then spears it again and then kicks it to the ground, killing it instantly. Anyway, it's been your boy Dice, aka Dice 'em, Slasher, Slice 'em, Dice 'em, and I'm outie.